Hi, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you, depending on where you are located at. Thank you very much for participating in our sessions today. And please feel free to raise any questions that you might have in the chat box, and we shall attend to you. My name is Wong. I'm the founder and CEO of Rentlab. And with me today is Vivienne, who is a Proptech consultant. Vivienne, would you like to say hello and tell us your interesting tagline?
Thank you, Wong. Hi, everybody. I'm Vivienne. And yeah, my tagline can be quite interesting. It's actually innovation is continuous. I chose this tagline because we should never stop innovating as the world is changing constantly.
Nice, nice. Ladies and gentlemen, today we will discuss and discover what a community app could be to meet the needs of the society today and beyond. We will also be discussing on how the community app jives with Smart City and its sensors to better serve the community. So, Vivian, I often hear you mention about community app. What do you reckon it's all
Hmm,
about?
the keyword is community, of course. What do you think the word community actually means? In the past, we had people living together as a community. People do things together, helping one another to achieve something. People know each other and are often there for one another. While in the recent years, society has come to a point whereby people are looking at self to accomplish for self rather than working together. People are no longer doing things as a community. Wong, do you even know who your neighbors are?
Well, honestly, I hardly know 20% of the people who even live in the same building with me. But of course, those staying in the same floors or those who we are close with, then we'll be able to look after each other better.
I would say the same as myself. And growing up, I remember sharing stories, food stuff, things together with my neighbors. But we hardly do them anymore today. We are very much living looking after our own self these days. Really. In hindsight, in recent years, people are coming back to the community. Look around us. We can see a lot of co working and co living spaces mushrooming up around the world. We can tell that community based concepts are coming back into the picture. For the past 3 to 5 years, companies have been encouraging collaboration among co workers, having to collaborate with a team of people with different skill sets, experiences, holding different roles, working towards one common goal. Now, that is a community on its own, Wong. When we look at community, it could refer to people having the same interests or even people living or working within the same township, people having the same goal or cause. And the list can go on and on and on. Well, just as the idiom goes, birds of the same feathers flock together. What more? No man is an island. We need one another.
Okay, so are each community different from one another? Community is all about people who have the same interest coming together, right? So they could be of the same hobby group or perhaps work related groups or people living in the same real estate, for example. So if you reckon they are different, how can they be different from one another?
When we talk about community, there is one common element to it: communication. Regardless of whatever type of relationship one has, communication is the key. Similarly, for a community to work, we need to communicate with one another, but the style or needs of communication differs from one community to another community. Let me give you a couple of examples. In a co working space, communication happens when co-working members reach out to the operator to get some things done, such as reporting for faulty furniture, making payment, making an inquiry about adding a new colleague or teammate into your team, and etc. While in the co-working space, as a member, we constantly look out to network with other members within the space to attend an event they are conducting, or for business opportunities to participate in an event or competition together, or just to get to know another friend. On the other hand, when we talk about residential community, communication happens very differently. For example, owners and residents contact the management office to get some management work done, or they contact the security guards to attend to some matters. Residential association committee members contacting residents to participate in community events or activities, or even to come together to make a decision for the benefit of the community. Residents looking for others to come together to do bulk purchase in order to reduce the expenses.
Yes, Vivian. If it's all about communication, wouldn't social media like existing ones like Facebook's, Zoom, Microsoft Teams, or WhatsApp messaging tools, etc. So aren't these sufficient enough?
People come and go. How should we manage these people properly and make sure they are not being left out by the community? When a tenant moves in, only the owner is aware of it. The owner will have to include these tenants into the community and remove them when they move out. Take, for example, in a residential community communicating about an event and to better manage the event. An RSVP is very important to make sure there's enough food and even dog gifts for everybody who attends.
Yes, that said, how about a notice board? By announcing the events in the notice board or even in WhatsApp group, attached with a Google form to get RSVP. That can be done also, right?
Seriously, how many people go to the notice board and read what is pasted there on a daily basis? I remember staying in one place, the Residential Community Association actually print out a banner to inform the community what's going on and there's an event happening by when. All these are ongoing expenses that can be reduced when we have a community app. Even better still, if the community app comes with a community calendar telling us what's going on at one point of time. Oftentimes, no one really remember what they read on the notice board.
True, true. I agree with you because when there's a notice in our condo about a water or electricity disruption, I hardly remember when is the actual date, until end up with no water or no electricity.
Exactly my point, Wong. If the community calendar is in place in the community app, a notification can be sent out to remind the residents like maybe 3 or 5 days before the water disruption or even one day before it happening. We can be much more prepared. Would any of these social media or messenger tools that you mentioned are able to help people to remind them that there's an upcoming water disruption? Some people have the tendency to check them all the time. But again, what was informed earlier would not have been read. Do you, Wong? Tell me, do you even scroll back your messenger on your WhatsApp group to find the messages to find out if something is going to happen tomorrow? Do you do that?
Definitely not. I don't even scroll back, in the WhatsApp or Facebook groups to look at the previous messages. No, I don't do that.
It could be even more ideal that the community calendar can be synchronized with the calendar that you refer to at all times. Let the calendar do the job to send you reminder instead. We don't have time to go and scroll back or to find out what's going to happen tomorrow, huh? We don't have that kind of time to look at, right?
Yes. So Vivian, back to the example you gave earlier on the co-working space, and about networking together among the colleagues. So we know that there are many people out there. Some are extrovert and they are easy to reach out and connect with other people. But there are also other introvert groups that do not easily connect with people or do not want to be disturbed. So how could a community app in a co-working space, in this case, handle such different group of people and their privacy needs?
Community app should come with a feature to allow people to toggle on or off to be connected at any point of time. While attending to the needs of having extroverts to switch off at all times, the application can then add in another feature to enable the individual to indicate which particular dates or specific times that they are not available to be connected with. When the system detects this, and off mode, he or she can become invisible so that other people cannot see them and to connect with them. Now, this is when a community app will have to come in the picture rather than using a social media or even a messaging tool because you can't switch on and off as and when you like.
So it's like switching on and allow to people to actually have access to me or connect me at any time. So how about in such a app where people are nasty and they use very offensive words against one another. So how do you reckon that a community app can handle such a situation?
First thing first, the system administrator needs to tell the system what are the words that should not be used when communicating. Secondly, the administrator must have the right to decide whether to show an asterisk when somebody uttered a forbidden word or just send a reminder to the person, don't even post up the message to rewrite the entire conversation without using any forbidden words.
Okay, so how about harassment? Harassment also happens anywhere or any time of the day, right? So with the ease of communication tools in within the community app, so how do one manage individual or avoid an individual being harassed by another individual?
A report abuse button can be added in to report an individual. Ultimately, the administrator can suspend or blacklist the harasser. We would even encourage a police report to be lodged against the offender. How can then the community app improve the lifestyle of a community with this feature? In a business setup, the administrator could notify the human resource department about the incident, plus providing them an evidence of such case that had happened.
Okay, so what is your view on the current residential community apps in the market that we have now? And are they solving these pain points that are there and those that you have mentioned? What sort of other features do you think the product need to have to be add on to the community app?
Majority of the residential community app available in our market today are very much like a residential community app, not so much of building up a community. There is a function to connect the management office and a call button to reach out to the security guards. There is an option to allow residents to buy and sell among the community, including bulk purchase. However, when a parcel unit encounters any difficult neighbors, they have to speak to the management office. Should the residential community app allow them to speak to a friendly neighbor? Oh my God, it will be really, really, really wonderful. This would break down the barrier of communication with the neighbors, especially when the next door neighbor TV is too loud. All I have to do is just switch on my community app, send a notification to them via the community app.
Yeah. So if someone is going to talk to another neighbor and complaining about their TV too loud and having them directly engage with the other party, would this create more fiction between them?
No, I do not think so because I do know some of the residents, instead of even informing the security guards or management office, they called the police to come and attend to the neighbor. I think that would really create a friction. Now, furthermore, when a tenant has moved in or moved out, it is also important to notify or keep the management office and the security guard posted. Although owners can add tenants into the community app to manage them, the respective parties are not made known. So the security guards would not even know if that is the rightful owner of the particular unit at that point of time. Whether it is residential or commercial buildings, there are also property agents moving around to help owners to rent or sell a parcel unit or two. If there at the moment there is no function to add them into the residential community app, are the management office aware of them? Do the security guards know these people are actually property agents? They are still part of the community, and in my opinion they should be added into the community app. With this, owners can reach out to these folks, and better still, only authorized property agents should be added into the community app, creating a safer community by reducing unauthorized people to easily access into the building.
So So based on what we have discussed so far, so am I getting it right to say that each community actually require different features and functions in their community app? And also, if so, uh, does it mean that we can't have a one size fit all type of a solution to all the different type of communities?
Definitely, we cannot use one community app to fit all types of community, but yet there are some features that are overlapping with one another because they are the same thing that can be reused, but not the entire community app copy and paste and use it somewhere else.
Okay, perhaps Vivian, you can share with us or shed some lights on what type of features that would be similar from one platform to the other, as well as we move into this smart generation. How do you think that a community app can actually help in developing a smart city?
Sure. One feature that is needed in a be it a residential commercial is accessing into the building. These access are given to people who are authorized to access, which also means that a quick addition or removal must be done instantaneously. Late 1990s and early 2000s, people have been using proximity cards to access a building. And as we advance into today's technology, people are looking at implementing facial recognition devices for door access. With the pandemic happening now, people are reducing physical contact as much as they can. Contactless visitor management is pretty much the solution a lot of building managers are looking for today. This can be easily achieved by using a facial recognition device for access rather than having the reception to hand out the access card to the visitor to access the building. An invited visitor can opt to register himself through a link provided by the meeting host. When he registers himself, he registers together with his face. So when this particular visitor arrives at the reception, he don't even have to queue up. All he has to do is just to walk straight through the facial recognition to enter the building. This would also cut down a lot of time on top of being a contactless visitor management. Now, the next thing, another feature that I would like to share with you is that when you invite your client to your office for a meeting, don't you think it would be wonderful if you can pay for your client's parking fees from the comfort of your desk through the community app? It would be even better if the community app integrate with your accounting system to create the necessary journal entries to register the expenses as well. To further ease the pain of your visitor searching for a parking lot, he can use the community app on from his side to reserve a parking lot before even he arrives. These features help to reduce a lot of variable time lost while focusing on getting one place to another place, and the meeting, the entire journey can go on seamlessly and smoothly.
Wow, definitely like to try out these features in the building where I work.
Well, let me ask you yet another question. Now, forget about the pandemic days. How often do you ask your colleague the question, where do we go for lunch today?
That is a tough question we ask ourselves almost every day. Yeah. So yeah, by the time we decided where to go, what to eat, it could easily take us like 5-10 minutes.
Now, may I present to you another idea with the community app? If the community app is developed with a deep learning technology that learns the behavior of the user, so when it comes to lunch hour, after a while, the community app knows who you normally go for lunch with. Further to that, it picks up the behavior such as the type of food this particular group of people would go for on certain days and depending on the weather of that day. When the weather is really cool and nice, it's nice to have a cup of nice coffee together with your colleagues after a meal, or even a bowl of porridge. But when the weather is so hot, you might just want to have an ice kacang together, right?
Yes.
Plus, imagine that it is connected to your work calendar that tells the system how much time you actually have for lunch. With all these things in mind, the system will be able to suggest a few restaurants showing you several things. One, How much time is it going to take you to walk from where you are to the restaurant? Or if you need to drive, how long does it take you to commute from your workplace to the restaurant? Number two, what type of food is available in that restaurant or even the food court, computing the percentage based on the diet of the people you'll be eating with. For example, if it's the 15th day of the Chinese calendar, I know that the Buddhists actually go for vegetarian diet, or even some of the Taoists would prefer to do that. The app could propose a few restaurants whereby one of it is actually a food court that serves vegetarian meals. You go for lunch with five people, two out of five are vegetarian, the rest of you are meat eaters. I'm a meat eater actually. The app can actually show you that it meets 40% of the diet requirement for that group. From there, you can also make an informed decision. Do you want to go together with this group, or you want to break away from this group, so the vegetarian can go for a vegetarian meal and the meat guys can come and follow me? Filter out promotion items in the restaurant with the anticipated amount saved for that particular day.
Awesome, awesome. This definitely, with the help of deep learning, I believe will definitely help us a lot in saving time and providing the convenience. So, is there any other thing else that deep learning can be used to further contribute to help improve our lifestyle in such a community app?
Diving deeper into the community app feature, that is even being able to propose what you should eat based on your diet preference, your health condition at the time, and what would you like to achieve. For example, if you are trying to lose weight, you tell the system that you're trying to lose weight. So it will not even propose you to go and eat at Kentucky Fried Chicken or even Texas Chicken. Probably you might want to propose you to eat some poke bowl. Nice.
Mm. Yep,
After
yep, true.
deciding what you would like to order, the community app allows you to pre-order your food, indicating whether you're going to dine in or you're going there to do a takeaway, enabling you to know when the food is ready as you commute to the restaurant. This data can also further be used or shared to the restaurants anonymously to help them to better craft up promotion for a specific duration of time to attract more clients rather than running a promotion that is not favorable by the majority. Of course, the current post system can do it, but if such things is curated nicely and embedded together with the community app, imagine the kind of crowd that they can attract. It's pretty much a win-win for all parties. Now, I would like to draw your attention further that I find it very critical in a smart city. As we move into 5G connectivity generation, deploying an augmented reality wayfinding, or I call it AR finding for short, which will be much easier today because it requires ultra low latency and these requirements are being met.
So Vivian, wayfinding, is it similar to a Google Map application, or how are they different?
Yes, you can still use Google Map, but Google Map has some limitation. Google Map can't really tell you whether you should take an escalator to go to a specific level, to a specific location that you want to go to. Wayfinding can be more than just taking you from one place to the next. Or some, as you look at your wayfinding on your phone, as you walk, there's a little guy there walking in front of you, or an arrow, or however you want to set, just like Waze. But it could actually pop up to say there's a promotion as you walk, just like Waze, and you can ping to redeem it.
Ah,
Furthermore, there are actually several other use cases that we can consider using an AR wayfinding. Now, combining with the weather sensor and the behavior learning algorithm, the system could also do a few things. For example, if the person commutes to work on a train when it rains heavily, the system can advise the individual another method to get to the train station without getting wet. Or when one is going out for lunch and the temperature goes up to 35 degrees Celsius with humidity level of 90%. Who doesn't like this type of weather? The female, right? In our country, a
true.
lot of the ladies will always go that way and they will say, "Hey, wait, Wong, it's too hot. The sun is glaring. Let me go up and take an umbrella." Is this something common for you?
Yes, yes, I see it every day.
Yeah, just look at it this way. you still waste some more time, that you have to wait for the person to go out and grab an umbrella and come down and things like that. Now, if the system could advise the group of people or the individual and say, if you want to go to a certain place, you don't have to walk under the sun, but you can take another path towards your lunch destination. Don't you think that is really, really awesome?
Yes, definitely, definitely.
Let me give you yet another use case. Occasionally, when a person attends a meeting in a specific location, would normally arrange several other meetings within the same vicinity, right? To save time, to
Yep.
save costs. With the systems that are all interconnected together with the wayfinding, it's so much easier for you to get from one location to another location, saving time as well. And on top of that, with the AI cameras installed in the entire township, it can recognize your face, it knows where you are, and the minute you enter from building A to building B, your face is already recognized. You can just walk in seamlessly because your hosts have invited you for the meeting. And furthermore, for the hosts themselves, they can be notified when you are nearby, 10 minutes away, 15 minutes away. So the hosts can get themselves prepared, pack up their things, go to the meeting room to meet up with you. Save time for everybody.
Wow, wow. I think these features are very easily engaging the users to continue using the app because it's a daily affair type of thing, right? So how would you
Yeah,
propose to create, yeah, how do you propose to create more stickiness for the users to the community app?
wow. That's a very challenging question that you have given me here, Wong. As people want to continue to stay in the community app, it should create a differentiation. Let's talk about co-working space. Before any product can be developed, we need to ask ourselves one question. Who are the characters using the product? So Wong, who do you think will be attracted to use a co-working space?
First of all, would be startups like myself, freelancers, people who
Mm-hmm.
move around oftenly, such as the digital nomads.
Yes, you are very right. Besides having the operators to run events or activities for the members to bring people closer, do you know that a co-working community app can also bring people closer together as well? As much as an individual renting a space in a co-working environment, if he often participate in events, work along with other members to develop a mobile app together, for example, so on and so forth, or even arranging different kind of interesting talks, sitting there sharing knowledge together, would you not want to work with this person?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So the community app can use the method or the concept of gamification to rank the individual by giving them points whenever they participated in certain events or even giving certain talks and gain a certain popularity, or even like being a great UI UX designer, design a very beautiful design for XYZ project and stuff like that. And this person have a different ranking. So if you want to look for a UI UX designer in a co-working space with such a community app, you can just click and scroll down or even filter out what you're looking for. You can see the top ranking people. So I would personally say that I would also engage a UI UX designer who rank the highest to work together with in a project.
Okay, Vivian. So
This
coming back
would,
to
yeah, sorry,
yeah, coming,
I just
no
wanted to
problem.
add on another point. So with that,
Sure.
with the gamification, it just draw people to it to start to work together to just want to contribute to something to push their rank higher so that somebody is going to approach me. I would really love that idea. Sorry, Wong, you got me too excited.
Yeah, yeah, no, no, that is a very interesting point because that will actually benefit both side of the parties, you know. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
coming back to PropTech, you know, as a industry focused platform, or let's say on property
Mm-hmm.
sales or rental marketplace like Rentlab ourselves. So should we also look into applying or actually integrating with a lot of these community app so that we can create a community that benefits the platform as well.
Well, I would not say that you should integrate with a community app, but I would say that you think like a community app. What does the
Uh,
community is looking for? Look into some of the features that a renting or property sales would be looking for. Some of the features that you might want to consider when developing a community app for this industry or using the specific functionality or features would be: one, learn up the behavior of the tenant and purchaser. For example, what kind of things are they looking for? If they are renting a home, after a year later, they might want to move to another home. What kind of criteria that this person always look for? Facing the north, facing the south? You can help this person to actually move along that line. Number two, you will need a marketplace for tenants, purchasers, or even property agents to look for various kind of product or services to build that community up. Go and talk to different people to build that platform together. Like one of the ideas that I can give you is you need to do renovation.
Mm.
Go and look for a renovating platform to do it together, to build it up. Enabling the property agents to communicate with tenants and purchasers on the same platform so that they don't have to move out from the platform to talk on WhatsApp, because sometimes then you start to have people like, if I give my WhatsApp number to the property agent, would they sell my number? So you might want to even throw that concept out and allow people to do that communication there throughout their tenancy period as well. Put in allowing them to pay their monthly rental from your platform would be a great idea as well. Allowing owners who own multiple property to manage them on one singular platform. Talk to a company that does facility management system to see how you can integrate or allow them to manage the property together.
Wow, Vivian, we have discussed so much today already. So perhaps you'd like to give a short summary of our discussion today.
Sure, as important as communication is important to a community, people are still the centric of community app. Before a community app is developed, study your community and find out what your community needs are, because they are all unique. A church community app differs even from one church to another church, and a residential community app can't be used to deploy in even in a religious community either. Once you understand what your community needs are, use technology to build an application that fits your community needs to further build a healthier lifestyle. Look into what type of IoT devices that can be implemented together with your community app to automate tasks that can be automated. In reference to our topic today, community in the cloud, I have a friend who actually exclaimed, "Oh, you're going to talk about floating community." Well, we are talking about tearing down the brick and mortar, enabling the community to be able to engage and communicate digitally, that with the community app hosted up in the cloud. That's what we meant.
Okay, so referring community in the cloud is actually more about people and is indeed very, very down to earth matter. Yeah. Okay, great insights, Vivian.
Precisely.
Thank you, Vivian. That's very, very great insight, and thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us today. So, with this,
You're
we shall
welcome.
yeah, thank you. We shall end this session for today. Thank you all, audience, for joining us today, and we hope that this insight will, got you to see what technology can further help us to innovate for a better tomorrow. Thank you all. Bye bye.